Hello guys, welcome to Haymanager, and today I've got a bit of something different. I've previously done a series where I've done tactical reviews called Sideline Source, mainly focused on Manchester United, but I want to sort of broaden my horizons. Now today I'm going to do some analysis and some tactical reviews, sort of looking in depth into the United versus Leicester FA Cup quarter-final game, which just happened with, well, the weekend just gone by on the Sunday. And it's just, I'm testing stuff out, I'm writing commentary notes, you'll see them on screen in a second. I just want to bring something new, sort of a different view of analysis, try and bring to you some high quality sort of graphics as well, to sort of display things that I think should be happening in games, sort of like a punditry, Monday Night Football feel-esque, but a bit of a twist on it. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but Martin Tyler, a very popular commentator, he has put out there on his Instagram and online as well, his commentary notes from years gone by now. I've sort of taken inspiration from this, and I've tried to establish not a commentary note sort of system, but like an analysis sort of system. So I'm going to look at that and also put on the screen some like different bits of graphics that I've made. We're just going to see how this goes for this first episode, really. So we'll start off with what I've hopefully put on the screen now, is my note. Zoom into some of them and try and see how I do in the edit. We'll look at the recent form going into this game. We saw Leicester had 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. Manchester United 3 wins and 2 draws. United have been playing very well, but Leicester City, they've been proving their worth. They've recently had Harvey Barnes get injured. Jamie Vardy's playing a lot more of a support role of late. Before the game, we've seen Iheanacho score a hat-trick in the previous weekend, so we know this Leicester team means business. Now, it was against Sheffield United, but you can't really slander them because they are still a Premier League side. In the week, Manchester United played AC Milan. They'd just previously played before that West Ham as well, and they played AC Milan the week before, and before that Manchester City. So they've had a very, very compact last 4 games, 3 wins and a draw in the last 4 games. Big win against Manchester City before the Manchester City game, looking at sort of 2 draws and stuff like that. Whereas Sheffield United losing to Arsenal and Slavia Prague, dropping out the Europa League, Burnley a 1-1 draw, and then a 2-1 win against Brighton and a 5-0 win against Sheffield. You're looking at a side that have just beaten sort of lower side teams, relegation candidates, but still in a pretty good run of form. We saw a lineup here. I'll show you the lineups on my notes down here. 3-4-1-2 as I saw it for Leicester. They were playing 3 at the back, solid back 3 with Fofana, Evans and Soyuncu. I won't say a deep 4, but a narrow 4 in the midfield, so Albrighton, Tielemans and Didi and Castagna all played pretty narrow, sort of compact in that midfield and sort of overthrow that midfield battle. And Jose Perez playing in behind the 2 strikers, which were Iheanacho and Vardy. Vardy sort of playing out on that left-hand side, cutting in a bit, and Iheanacho going out onto that right-hand side as he likes to do. And Perez, more of a trequartista role where he'd come in, try and pick up the ball, be a bit fancy with it, and try and pick those pockets of space and get in there. So he played pretty well. And then we look at United side. Dean Henderson in there, he's been playing fantastic lately for Manchester United. He's picking up, I think, 4 clean sheets in the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. Then we saw Alex Telles, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka as a back 4, Shaw being taken out, probably rested, and then Telles put into the side. We then saw Matic, Pogba and Fred in the midfield, Donny van der Beek in behind the striker, and then Martial and Greenwood. I saw this more as a 4-1-2-1-2. Solskjaer's not had very much success with the diamond, and I think he tried to disguise this as a 4-2-3-1. Pogba wasn't playing out on that wing. He's not a winger, Pogba. He was playing more of a narrow formation. I think Matic sat in front of the back 4 because he was scared about Vardy's pace and sort of Iheanacho's form. And then I think Fred and Pogba sort of sat, not as a pivot, but a bit of a wider pivot, and then Van der Beek sort of dropped forward and back, more of like I'd say more of an advanced playmaker role. It was like a 4-4-2, but very deep, so to speak, and very compact. And then Greenwood on that right-hand side, Martial mostly played through the middle, but drifted out onto that left as well. So we'll cut to what happened in the game, really. Obviously, you can see on the right-hand side, I do the nicknames, the Foxes and the Red Devils. 3-1 was the final result, as we all saw. Yellow cards picked up by Maguire, Brighton, McTominay and Evans throughout the match. Leicester were the dominant side in this game. They were much more the dominant side. I think if you look at the game in itself, you probably wouldn't say that Leicester did much, but they just sort of countered on United's mistake. Vardy attempted at the very beginning with a lot of sloppy defending. I think a corner came in and then Lindelof tried to clear it and it fell straight to Vardy, who normally might have scored really, but Henderson was on his feet, quick on his feet. And then we saw obviously the sloppy back pass by Fred. Really awful back pass, and then Iheanacho just rounds the keeper. Nice and easy goal for Iheanacho, probably the easiest one he's scored so far this season. Then we saw Pogba going down that left flank, sort of tricky feet, crosses it in. Van der Beek sort of hears the call from Greenwood behind him. Very knowledgeable, clever play. And Greenwood tucks that away nice and easy. His first goal in, I believe, 20 odd games for him. And Jose Perez, just before the stroke of half time, tricky feet, narrowly misses the post, a very good shot, very good skill move as well, I've got to admit. He played very well. Then we saw half time. No changes at half time. Now, if it was me, I'd have taken Fred off. He had a very poor game out there during this side. I just don't think we had the midfield. The midfield three just didn't click on Sunday. And I think Fred was probably one of the key parts of that. He won the ball back a few times, but in terms of passing and giving away the possession, he was very poor on the day. Same with Matic. Matic hidden at how bad a game he had by Fred. Obviously, Fred making all the mistakes, you never saw Matic sort of out of position. General poor play, your basics were there, but general poor play. So we saw Tielemans drift through, Matic got sucked in, and a nice 1-2 with Iheanacho, then nobody picked him up, absolutely nobody picked him up. I think Vardy made a run out wide and Maguire followed him. And then Lindelof was there, left to sort of hope Fred could cut across him, and Fred never took him out or never made a challenge on him even. And then we saw Tielemans tuck that into the very bottom left-hand corner. Great goal. I feel sorry for Dean Henderson because these first two goals, given away by Fred to Iheanacho, and then this other goal where Tielemans had all the time in the world to strike that wherever he wanted, and he's a very talented player, Tielemans. Yeah, Henderson unlucky for the first two goals. Then we saw Vardy, one-on-one with the keeper, he dragged it wide. I thought he might have scored again there. I think Vardy's just in a patch of form where he's just out of it at the moment. Then we saw Iheanacho free at the back post. McTominay not picking up his man who's just been brought on. It was a shame. We saw 4 substitutes before that, should I say. Number 31 for Manchester United. Matic coming off, Pogba coming off, Van der Beek coming off, and Telles coming off. No Fred. Fred's not been taken off yet, bear in mind. Then number 39, 18, 7 and 23, so Luke Shaw, Cavani, Bruno Fernandes and McTominay all coming on. Yeah, it was sloppy, and then Iheanacho obviously scored the back post. McTominay not getting there. And then we saw Bruno Fernandes with a free kick. Bruno Fernandes' free kick, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Schmeichel, showing his class really. Schmeichel is an incredible keeper. I think Brendan Rodgers said before the game he's one of the most underrated keepers in Europe. He definitely is. He definitely is. So I'll just take you through what I think should have happened. So on your screen now you'll see your little formation sort of table. I'm going to show you how I think we should have lined up. With the side that was selected, obviously these are the players that have been selected. I'm not going to select other players. That's how Leicester have set up. That was probably the best setup for Leicester. Back three, solid against Anthony Martial. Then we saw Albrighton, Tielemans, Ndidi and Castagne. So Albrighton and Castagne could drop back as wing backs if needed. You've got midfield 2, Perez and Iheanacho and Vardy up front. So the back 4, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change that one bit at all. I wouldn't change that. That's sort of how they should play. It's ideal. Then, as a side collectively there, you've got to sort of play Greenwood a lot narrower and Martial a lot narrower because there's not going to be any wide space. You're going to have to try and get through the middle and play some intricate passing. Now, Matic, I think, should have been playing on this left-hand side, and Fred should have been told to play deeper on this other side as well. And I think in essence, you start seeing a 4-2-2-2 developing. Because I can't see how else we can set up against a 3-4-1-2. We've seen that Leicester have been playing this back three, sort of Fofana, Evans, Sancho and Castagne, and then Albrighton dropping a bit deep. In previous games, they have been playing like sort of a 5/3 at the back. Well, I think this would have been ideal because we let Perez have the ball in midfield, but we've got the back 4, the solid back 4 of Maguire, Matic, Fred and Lindelof, and then we can also let Wan-Bissaka and Telles double up to sort of drag Albrighton and Fofana or Castagne and Sancho out to those wings, and it's just Johnny Evans essentially against Martial and Greenwood in the midfield who could sort of dictate what they do. Obviously Ndidi will drop deeper and Tielemans a bit more of an attacking midfielder really. I doubt he'd drop back, so it'd be Ndidi and Evans in that sort of those centre-back roles. So that's how I think we should have lined up. And then in terms of bringing on substitutes, Chowdhury and Prayek came on for Leicester. I don't think it made many changes really, but in terms of Manchester United changes, we could have seen Van der Beek come off, maybe Diallo come on and play that winger position where he's a bit more comfortable. We saw Matic come off, and then you see McTominay come on. So then you get the McTominay-Fred sort of link-up play, and then Pogba coming off and Fernandes coming on. So then you can drop Martial into that left wing role, and then you've got more of a 4-2-3-1, and then just play Greenwood up front. I can't see why he wouldn't play Greenwood up front. And that's how I would have played the game anyway. Telles, I think, had a decent game. I don't know why he took him off. I think he was leaving Maguire a bit open at that left-back role, but I was concerned as to why he brought him off. Well, I think that's how I would have changed things around towards the mid-half of the game, because we needed the width. We needed width in this side. And to say he can, I think Rashford was probably an essential piece of the puzzle missing, because Tellers and him down that left-hand side could have made things happen. Overall, pretty poor, really. So yeah, that's how I think that happened. So then we'll go back to the player ratings as I've got the structure going for this video. The ratings themselves, they start at an average of 6.7. So when you enter the pitch, you're on a 6.7. You don't go any higher or any lower. You don't start at 5, you don't start at 6, you start at 6.7. Going through the game, it was obvious that Leicester have set up very well. They're very structured. So for me, Schmeichel 7.1, a few highlights plays I've got here is Siuncho 7.6. I think he was dominant in that back line. I think he played incredibly well. Indeed as well, cutting the lines as well as Tielemans. Tielemans had a fantastic game, can I just say. Very, very talented player. Then we saw Iheanacho with a stellar performance, proper like centre forward, took advantage of, well, on the ball for that Fred back pass. I think he played very, very well. An average of 7.23 for the entirety of that Leicester side. And Manchester United, Henderson unlucky, 6.2 rating. I think he was very unlucky, to be honest. He did concede 3 though. Could he have done more? I doubt it. I think he played some pretty secure saves. I think he was commanding the area. I think he did pretty well, but yeah, 6.2 because he did concede the 3 goals, obviously. Matic and Fred, the midfield 2, just didn't work today. Well, the 3, should I say, just didn't work. It just did not work. Fred, I think Fred had an abysmal game, 5 rating. Now, I do want to take a moment to address the fact that he's being racially abused online, which is completely unnecessary. A player who plays football, race shouldn't be taken into consideration at all, and completely condemn any sort of racial abuse. I think all you can do is judge a player by how he's played. Not by the colour of their skin, but how they played. Fred had an abysmal game, but there's no need to do that online. I think I've got to address that because it's big news. It's happening frequently throughout this Manchester United side, and frankly, it's disgusting. Despite the fact he did have a poor performance, there is no need to go and do that to any individual. Then we saw Matic had a very poor game as well, I think on a 6. Greenwood, a shining light throughout this Manchester United side. He said before the game he's been improving, in an interview, he's been improving his general play, his wing play. I think that's proven. He's bagged a goal today. He's moving into the box, sort of made that happen. I think he played pretty well. And then we saw the 2 substitutes, well, a few of the substitutes. Luke Shaw came on, made a bit of an impact. Fernandes nearly scoring, definitely made a bigger impact, tracking back, being who he is, Fernandes really. And Diallo didn't really do much on that right wing. I think he was just put on as a placeholder really. Shy away from the fact that there's been a few players in the side that have a very bad game. So overall, average was 6.38 for Manchester United, which is very poor. It's very poor. Bit of analysis through the middle there. I think I've already covered that mostly. And then man of the match goes to Kelechi Iheanacho. Absolutely fantastic performance. Brendan Rodgers probably deserves a lot of credit for what he's done with this Leicester side against Manchester United. To set up in this way, 3-4-1-2, a very clever system to counter the United sort of back 4. Yeah, I think it was an incredibly great game. I think it shows United need a centre forward, a proper centre forward like an Iheanacho in this Manchester United side probably would have been fantastic. So yeah, I think that's a video for another day though, that centre forward. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's a bit different. It's a bit of a different concept, maybe a bit longer. But Sideline Source, this is what it's going to be from now on, sort of analysis of games. I've done Manchester United because it's sort of my, as you can see by the kit I'm wearing, it's my club. I know the insides and outs, but it allows me to sort of do the analysis in this sort of fashion and then sort of progress with it, see what I can do with it, and then hopefully develop it into a great sort of analysis for you lot to look at and sort of create a discussion in the comments as well. Comment down below how you think Manchester United should have set up, perhaps, if you think Leicester are just unbeatable today in this sort of formation that they'd set up with Brendan Rodgers and set them up with. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the video. As ever, leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you in the next episode. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.